What's up? Pisces Sun, Mars, Scorpio. Right off the top, we have a very sensitive placement here. This placement is even more sensitive than Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Mars, and almost as sensitive as Sagittarius Sun, Scorpio Mars, because Sagittarius are sensitive. People just don't even know. So, with this placement, I feel like you will have an extremely great deal of patience when it comes to things that you're pursuing, things that you want to experience, even your partners, people you're attracted to. Very comfortable. You may not really put as many guidelines up for them to have to follow, even though your Mars is in Scorpio. But I tell you this, you definitely will like your sense of attention. You like to get your attention in, especially from your partners, and you're willing to give it as well. It's not so much like you like people buying you presents and doing things for you, but it's just more about their support for you. You know, when you're feeling down, or when you're feeling a certain type of way, or when you just feel like you just want to have your moment, when you just feel like, you know, you can't express what it is that you feel, you still want to know from the people that you support, can they support you in the same way? Because you're going to support them in that very same way. Almost to the point of where you put your needs to the back burner. We got to talk about that. With this placement, it could be very hard for you to work together with other people and build something solid in your relationships as well, because of the fact that emotionally you can go back and forth. And there's certain things that you could be distrusting of, especially when it comes to other people and their actions towards you. And this placement, it is hard to really put things in practical sense, make practical sense of things. So it's hard to develop things that you have to work for from the ground up. Now, it's not to say that Pisces individuals cannot be rich and highly successful financially. I'm not saying that, because you can. But at the same time, when it comes to you really needing to build something up that calls for like physical commitment, or just commitment and responsibilities and things of that nature, it is hard for you to really perceive what that is, and to really sustain yourself into doing so, because of the simple fact that you don't build your life like that. You rather be in the being, in the knowing that the unknown is okay to just dwell in. You're comfortable there. You have your Mars and Scorpio. And you can be extremely to yourself. You can, try to sense people out. And if you don't really know them, or you can't really relate to them on an emotional level, you still give them, one thing about Pisces, you give them the advantage or the, respect of being who they are. But you may feel, and even treat them nice, but on a deeper level, you may feel like, well, I don't really know that person. I don't really, I'm not going to involve myself with that person like that. Like, hey, I treat you with respect. I treat you nice and cordial, but that don't mean anything. On a deeper level, I don't know you like that. I don't know if I can trust you like that. But when you do trust someone, and you do put your energy into a particular direction, you can give and support, even financially. Okay? This could be in a marriage. This could be in a relationship. And this can also work vice versa. Remember that. But there is an element of you possibly giving all of your energy in a direction and supporting a person or a situation, but in return, not really getting equal opportunity. You have to make sure that whatever you're pursuing, or whatever you are, like, even involving yourself in, going after even a person, you have to make sure that you're seeing that they're putting energy towards your direction as well. It's one thing to have unconditional love, but it's another thing to just really deplete yourself and not really receive what you're worth in return. Okay? You got to remember that. So it may be necessary for you to face certain things that you may not want to face, or like question people, become mature in your communication, um, your communicative efforts and communication when it comes to others, in your mind. Like, really logically think about things sometimes. Logically think about things, logically put together, logically create a plan that could be effective in you developing yourself or creating something for yourself that you create practically, being able to trust others to work with them and things of that nature, and challenging that partner and saying, you know what, no, I am going to question you, and before I just, really give to you and give and do so without boundaries, because a lot of times you don't have any boundaries when it comes to other people. You kind of just let them be, sometimes just being is not okay. There's times when that goes wrong. And when you're able to tell a person, look, how many kids did you say you have? How many people did you sleep with? When did you say that you stopped dating them? Things of that nature. So you want to take over my financial account, but yet you said you had a felony doing what? Sometimes you gotta be able to present those questions, and you have to bring yourself out of the shadows to do so, because this is a person with this placement has a behind the scenes type energy. And when you are hurt, like when you allow yourself to face certain things that you try to entrust yourself with in other people, or with dealing with other people, when you find out the truth and you are hurt, it's hard for you to get past that hurt and that upset. It is. And it's hard for you to, you have great emotional strength, so you're very intuitive and in tuned. Don't get me wrong, because that is what helps you through a lot of your situations. But you have traumatic situations going on here when it comes to Mars and Scorpio. Traumatic situations that you don't see coming sometimes. And that's involving yourself with people and things that you're pursuing. And those traumatic situations can make you feel defenseless. Like, you don't, it's kind of like, well, that's what it is. That's what life is. It's not really going to help me either way. Like, people just do what they do. And you miss the importance and what was really being shown to you from your experiences. Because it can be saying, like, no, people don't just do what they do. Hold them accountable by holding yourself accountable. Because this placement creates change within your life. There could be people going and coming, and there could just be, just changes, constant changes. When you get familiar with something, boom, a change comes in. Wandering. And for you, it's just easier to not require much from others. It can feel sometimes hopeless about certain things, but it's just something that could be coming up emotionally. And out of fear of losing somebody or losing what you felt like you were trying to establish, you could just not really you could just become effortless almost in your interactions with people. And you got to understand that you can hold on to things with this placement, and you got to be willing to let certain bygones be bygones, but not just look at the things that went wrong, and understand that, even though there was something that you put your time and energy in and it let you down, there's always more. There's always more to the story. There's always other experiences out there, and you haven't seen the half sometimes, But with this placement, I feel like you are great in your efforts to support others. Absolutely phenomenal. Like, you are able to give your last, and that is what people love you for. But sometimes you have to be willing to take back your energy, challenge them a bit, hold them accountable. by holding yourself accountable. And understand that these transformations that happens to you in your life is to help you grow. You're very in tune sexually, and you put all of your emotions into that moment. Like, you sexually, you can take somebody to another realm, you know what I'm saying, to another place, and be very deep with it, and that could be scary for most, especially people that's just wanting a quick fling. It could be a fling for you, but it could just go, you're able to take it there, you know, you're able to really be out there and exist and just be. Sometimes you just got to come back to earth every now and then and face certain things and build, you know, materially, physically, and do so by just sometimes establishing a little routine here and there, like something simple to where you consistently do it to help you develop your skills in that area, and you should be fine. Okay. But this has been Pisces Sun, Mars and Scorpio, and till next time.